Hello, my name is Diana Flores Uriegas, and I'm letting everybody know that I'm a candidate for mayor this election for May the 3rd of 2025. I'm here to represent people like me and everybody, all the families, because we're, people think that I can't run because who I am. But I think we need representation for people like me. We're not invisible. We need to be heard. So I'm that candidate that will fight for you. I am an activist, and I am a grandmother, a mother, a sister, an aunt, a cousin, and I will fight for everyone, no matter what. Yeah, I am running again. I did run already on 2023, and I'm running again to try to bring changes to our San Antonio City people. And I'm respectfully asking for your vote on this May election. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day.
¿Qué onda, carnal? Dice mi gente, la raza está abajo y tú estás indiferente. Prefieres cerrar los ojos, no vi nada. Estabas ocupado por andar en la tomada. Te gusta tirar el cruising todo el día, buscando a las mujeres como si el mundo acabaría. Pero no sabías que tú podías continuar tu educación para superarte en la vida. Hermano joven, levanta tu frente y siente el orgullo de ser un descendiente de los aztecas, los incas y los mayas. Ayúdame a pelear y vencer.
Nilsi, Cualitlenesi, a Antonio Díaz con su programa de Mestizo Experience. Hoy es el en febrero, el 5 de febrero, el año 2025. Y vimos hoy los estudiantes que salieron a sus escuelas y marcharon para el centro y están, se me hace todavía, aquí enfrente del City Hall, en protesta en contra de estas leyes migratorias de Donald Trump. Y estos jóvenes me da mucha inspiración escucharlos y verlos unidos en esa manera, a venir a confrontar estas leyes racistas de este corriente presidente ahorita, que no sé ni cómo es presidente, porque realmente yo pienso que robaron la elección. Yo en mi mente no puedo pensar que hay tanta gente malvada, con espíritu tan mal para el prójimo, para la gente que está conviviendo con ellos, que les está dando de comer, ¿no? Porque la obra de mano de migrantes, los que trabajan en los campos, en los labores, con todos los productos que uno come, que compra en la tienda, es fácil ir a comprarlo, pero todo eso tiene que estar piscado, tiene que estar en una manera, en un saco, en una canasta o algo, y una troca, y todo eso lo hace no nomás mexicanos, pero la mayoría de mexicanos. Y si vienen con papeles o sin papeles, documentos o sin documentos, eso no tiene que ver nada en el precio que uno paga en la tienda. Si los deportan los que viven aquí, los ciudadanos de aquí, no van a querer que les paguen $5 la hora. No van a trabajar de las 5 de la mañana hasta las 7, 8 de la noche para asegurar que todo esa agricultura salga ese día. No lo van a hacer. Nadie. Y nadie debe de hacerlo. Porque todo el costo que está ahorita, nomás para poder alquilar, a rentar un lugar, ya son $1,000. Tiene que vivir 1, 3, 4 trabajadores en una casa para poder pagar esa alquila, esa renta, para poder comprar comida. No nomás eso, no nomás sobrevivir, pero para que uno pueda tener un poco de gusto en su vida, tiene que también le cuesta dinero. Y este gobierno con este naranjado menso, racista, quiere violar todos esos derechos, quiere violarlos, abusarlos, tratarlos como menos de ser humanos. Son humanos, todos somos seres humanos, todos. No importa qué color tenga tu piel, qué lengua hables, todos tenemos los mismos derechos como un ser humano. Y el presidente, que otra vez digo, no sé, mi mente no puede incorporar que la gente, la población de aquí, los 300 millones de gente, sean tan amargos, tan crueles, para votar por alguien como esta persona. Yo pienso que se robó la elección. Otra gente dice, no, digo, no, mira, las reglas y portarse como una persona honesta es lo que nos enseñan, es lo que se debe de ser. Pero este hombre nunca ha sido así. La historia de él nunca te la prueba él, que es un mentiroso, es un ladrón, no le paga a la gente que contrata, siempre pierde sus negocios porque no quiere pagar, y es el presidente. What I've been saying is, February 5th, 2025, the United States elected Donald Trump, the most racist, outlandish, con man, crook you've seen. And yet, that's why I can't believe, I'm not that naive to believe that over 50% of the registered voters of the United States actually would want this person as president. So I think, like he kept saying, there'll be a fix if I lose. No, I think there's going to be a fix for him to win. And Elon Musk provide that fix with his satellites and his internet ability to hack. That's what I think. I'm not a naive person. Is that I'm indigenous, and throughout our history, our people didn't know how to lie. Europeans did. That's why they said that our ancestors were like children, because our ancestors believed anything they were told. But it's because they were brought up speaking the truth and being honest. To them, it was a shame to lie. That's how we were brought up, to steal and lie. Well, Donald Trump, that's the way he is. Every other word out of his mouth is a lie. And to steal, he refused to pay contractors, and in several places that he hired people to work for him, he refused to pay most of the cost of any venture he had. That's why he went bankrupt several times and had to sell all these businesses out. And yet, I'm supposed to believe that our voting populace found him to be their choice to be president? Somehow my brain can't wrap around that. And also I was talking about those young people in front of City Hall right now. They did a walkout from their high school in San Antonio Independent School District and walked over here and are speaking right now in front of City Hall. Denouncing the criminal, racist, anti-human laws of Donald Trump. I mean, not that immigration legislation is that good to begin with. Obama separated families. Biden did the same. But these presidents were having to work with Republican Congresses that put a brake on most of the things they tried to do. But DACA exists because of Obama and Biden. Now, Trump would like to do away with it. Not just that, but with all sorts of other policies that these presidents put in place to respect the differences of people in the United States, whether they are immigrants or not. It's like I was saying in Spanish right now, is we're all human beings. That goes back to my indigenous roots. Is my ancestors, or what I've learned, is they never saw a difference in a human being, regardless of skin color. They did wonder why white people were so white. They thought they were painted, but they still saw them as human beings. They just, in some languages, they call them the huachichos, which is that eats everything, that has to eat everything, is never happy with just their own portion. Because again, we as Native people are raised to only take what you need, and to only eat what will sustain you until you eat again, not to eat everything and leave everybody hungry and starving, which is what this presidency wants to do. He wants to deport everybody and separate families, and it doesn't matter if the children were born here. He's basically coercing like mafia, like a thug, saying, we're going to send your parents over there. You want to go with them, or you're going to stay? And telling the parents the same thing. Don't you want to keep your family together? After these people that come from Central America, from Mexico or wherever, and they face a lot of adversity just crossing whatever point they cross, whether it's the desert, the river, the mountains. And yes, also to be paying whether a cartel, a criminal cartel, so that they don't get raped or murdered, to make it here. And then for a president like this to say, well, you want to take your kid after all that, or you're going to leave your kid by himself here so we can put him in some sort of program, foster program, or it reminds me of again, when the whites were trying to say to the Native people, you can't be an Indian no more. We're going to kill the Indian to save the man. We're going to colonize you. You're going to become Christian. You're going to learn all our rules. And it was not in a good way. It was not done. Thousands of people, children died, separated from their families. Well, we were the first to face that. It hasn't stopped. This government just continues to try to be as horrible as it can be to fellow human beings that are non-white. And it shouldn't be that way. Now, I know there's plenty of Anglos out there that are human beings, that see other people and believe they have the same rights as they do to education, housing, nutrition, medication, or any medical services required. There are good people out there of white skin as well. But this government was founded that way, to service the whites. Here we are in February. February here in the United States is supposed to be African American month, or Black month. And yet it's only that because of the enslavement that African people suffered for 400 years, is in recognition of that. It's horrible. You know, I bring up other issues as far as the struggles. Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, even going back to Marcus Garvey, and returning to Africa. All this because they wanted to be treated with some respect, with some human dignity, some rights. And that sparked the civil rights movement that finally gave fruit in the mid-1960s, where everybody got the right to vote. We have that supposed to be protected. Well, Donald Trump would like to take it away by continually accusing people of my skin color, or if you have a surname that's Spanish or Arabic or something else, somehow you don't have the right to vote, and you should be inspected. Your vote should be when no one else is, if it's Smith or Jones or whatever, they're okay to vote. No, that's racial profiling. That's all these things that we fought against in the 1960s. The Civil Rights Amendment, Donald Trump would like to wipe his rear with it and do away with it. And he's already put, during his first term, he put 3 Supreme Court judges in place to be able to change almost any law he wants to. And if another one retires or dies within this next 4 years, he'll have another one. So that is their mentality, his mentality. That's the Republicans' mentality as well. They control Congress. So he's got a clear path to do whatever he wants to. Whether he wants to do an executive order on his own or he wants to put it through Congress. We've already seen most of his cabinet members that he's choosing that really should not be there, such as Robert Kennedy for the health. This guy's crazy. The only thing he's got going for him is his last name, because other than that, if he wasn't Robert Kennedy Jr., he's just another crazy person. And he should not be in charge of our health. The guy he's got every single one. I mean, Elon Musk to control all our intelligence completely. I mean, this guy he put in the Department of the Defense that was basically just a rapist of a teenager. All these guys that he's put are nothing but criminals or not qualified, but yet he's got his vice president and he's already broken ties 2 or 3 times, because that's how close it is. That everybody votes against them except the Republicans, and it shouldn't be that way. So you people out there that are watching that are Republicans, and you should call your Republican Congress people and say, hey, that's not the way we should behave. Just you're following party line instead of following what's right and wrong. Like I said, they think we're so naive, like they used to think about our ancestors. Oh, they're like children. You can give them a sword and they'll cut their hand. Well, we never held a sharpened blade before. We held obsidian blades. We wouldn't grab that because we knew we were going to cut ourselves. But when as I tell people, being ignorant of something doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means that you've never seen it before, never heard it before, never experienced it before. You have that ignorance, but it doesn't mean you're stupid. We're going to be going through some bad 4 years. These tariffs that Donald Trump wants to put against Canada and Mexico and into Central America and China, and he's using it now. He's starting to see the backlash. So now he wants to start negotiating with these countries. I'll give you 30 days or I'll give you this. But he's menacing importers and exporters of U.S. goods and of goods that come here that we buy at the stores that will go up in price. And yet no one's talking about raising the minimum wage. Even though a living wage is proposed throughout most states and people are earning at least $10, $15 an hour now, Costco wants to pay $30 and they're being almost shut down by the government, not by the people. The people love it. But why should we earn $30? It's like a dog chasing his tail. You keep raising the prices, no matter how much you earn, you're never going to catch up to being able to, like I said, it's okay to survive, but you should not just survive, you should thrive. You should have time to enjoy your life, because we're all going to die. Mictlán Tecutli will take you to Mictlán, and we shouldn't fear it, but we should at least enjoy the time we have here before we go through those 9 steps of returning again. Again, that's my native belief, that we go, we die, we shouldn't be sad or we shouldn't be scared, because that is a process of life. But we're going to return. That is our belief. So, and again, I was talking about that discovery doctrine and how it was brought over here by the Catholic Christian Church. How many of our people it killed. Everybody just keeps talking about Jesus dying on the cross. You know how many native people were burned on the cross by the Catholic Church? Thousands, if not millions, just to convert us to Christianity, to make us build their missions to make us feed their soldiers, to make us send our money to the Vatican and to Spain and to France. This is our history, the history of the United States, how it was created. Aren't we advanced enough now to finally catch up to my ancestors that were here for thousands of years, that were here 500 some odd years when all this arrived on our shores, that the whites were better, that they were more civilized, even though they were amazed at what they were seeing in Mexico, in Tenochtitlan, all the temples around them, a city surrounded by lakes and growing crops that they'd never seen. When will we be that advanced to see someone coming and instead of trying to say we're better, to say there's a fellow human being walking towards me? How can I help them, or how can they help me? How can we unite? Instead of how can I fight them? How can I deport them? How can I displace them? How can I take everything they have, including their lives, their children? Because again, in this African American month or Black Awareness Month, it's because of slavery. Columbus brought that. Columbus brought slaves into the islands, into Haiti, Jamaica, into Costa Rica, into Mexico, 500 some odd years ago. That's how it started. Why we of Texas Indigenous Council here in San Antonio organized Indigenous Peoples Day March in October when Columbus arrived, to show it's not so much, it's a celebration that we're alive, not a celebration he arrived. It's a celebration that we're still here and that we still recognize our ancestors that were slaughtered and those that survived and had to live as colonized people, to be called Spaniards, to be called Hispanics, to be called Mexicans, to be called Texans, to be called United States citizens, all along by everybody that colonized us, and to accept their ways, learn their ways, be treated like lesser than because we didn't know their ways. When 2025, in 2025 they want to take us backwards again, backwards to the 1920s when they were just grabbing Mexicans and throwing them on trains and sending them across the border, even though they had been here for hundreds of years. We were here 300 years, at least the government of New Spain and Mexico, before the United States finally made it out here to the southwest and took it all. And somehow, my people are the illegals because they live on the southern side of the Rio Grande. That's the only difference. That's what makes them illegal, until the United States decides, I guess, to invade again and take it all or kill us all. With a president like Donald Trump, that is what is being placed in motion, and we must stop it. So that's why the voice of those children, those young people that walked out from their schools today, is so inspirational to me. It inspires me. Me inspira ver a estos jóvenes salir de sus escuelas y marchar para acá, para el centro, para el City Hall, en tal gobierno, y decirles que no se van a quedar callados, que lo que están haciendo ahorita en contra de toda la gente es ilegal y es criminal. Levantaron sus voces. Estoy muy orgulloso de eso. Yo no había visto esto nomás cuando yo tenía 15 años y nosotros salimos de las escuelas en 1968 sobre los derechos de nuestra raza, porque desde entonces todavía estaban violando nuestra gente y agarrando y echándolos para México, fueran de aquí o no fueran de aquí. En que sirvieron al gobierno como militares, todavía lo estaban deportando, todavía nos están deportando. Esto tiene que parar. Mucho orgullo con estos jóvenes. You'll be seeing pictures of today's action, and also today I had my friend, and you'll be seeing a short video. She says she's not a professional politician, but she's a human being. That's Diana Flores Uriegas. She's running for mayor again. everybody didn't believe when she ran the first time that she wasn't even going to get 100 votes or whatever. Well, let me tell you, she got thousands of votes. Thanks to you people out there. Thanks to you. And like what she was trying to get across to everybody is that she's common folk, but she's from here, always been here. Her family's always been here. And again, living in there by the San Antonio Missions, where her grandparents and parents got married at Mission San Jose. She's from the South Side High School. She's a wife, daughter, sister, aunt, mother, grandmother, I believe even a great-grandmother. She wants to represent people like herself, the invisible people. Everybody says, no, well, you shouldn't even be here. Or you don't even have you can't afford this. No. And we have conversations. So I tell her, who outnumbers who? Do the rich, like Elon Musk, outnumber the poor? Or do the poor outnumber them? Even here in San Antonio. Does Mr. Randy Smith, people like him, outnumber us? Or Mr. Weston outnumber us? Or do we outnumber them? Somehow they think that their lives are more important and that the candidates that they choose to back with their money should represent you. When they don't represent you, they represent Mr. Randy Smith and Mr. Weston. Their interest to build on top of your school, to build in your neighborhoods and displace you. Ms. Diana Flores Uriegas will represent those people that would probably be losing their homes. Those people that would say, no, I don't want a baseball field built here where it's going to endanger us through all the traffic and our children having to still fight just to go to school. No. Yes, it's okay to build housing for all the people that are coming in, but where are the services for all the people that always lived here, that paid taxes for 50 or 70 years and never got a street light or a sidewalk or drainage ditch until now because they're being displaced? Diana will fight for you. So vote for Diana Flores Uriegas on May 3rd and your early voting on April 20th. So that's what it's about. You got a president that's crazy. You need a local person, a mayor, that will stand up against these laws that want to make a sanctuary city a crime. Because I'm pretty sure Diana would fight for this to be a sanctuary city. So all you Republicans that want to deport people, incarcerate people and everything, you probably won't vote for that. But all you people that see human beings being jailed, children separated from their families, you would vote for her. Because you would not want to be treated like that or see your family treated like that. Like Diana says, she looks at other people like if it was her family, cares about them like it was her family, which means she wants them to have a roof over their head, food on their table, and to be able to enjoy their days and smile once in a while, not to be crying and worried about when they're going to come to deport them or when ICE is going to show up at their workplace, at their schools, at their shopping malls. Vote for a mayor like Diana Flores Uriegas. Again, thank you for continuing to watch Mestizo's Experience program. Tlazocamati.
¿Qué onda, carnal? Dice mi gente, la raza está abajo y tú estás indiferente. Prefieres cerrar los ojos, no vi nada. Estabas ocupado por andar en la tomada. Te gusta tirar el cruising todo el día, buscando a las mujeres como si el mundo acabaría. Pero no sabías que tú podías continuar tu educación para superarte en la vida. Hermano joven, levanta tu frente y siente el orgullo de ser un descendiente de los aztecas, los incas y los mayas. Ayúdame a pelear y vencer.